Hello, everyone, and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. Today, we are going to have the second game of a short three-game homestand against the St. Louis Cardinals. We have an afternoon game today, and in notes on the Cubs team, Nick Birdie, who was injured in the final game of the Pirates series, has been sent to the injured list, and he has been replaced on the Cubs roster by right-hander Corey Sadler, who's acquired from the Dodgers during the offseason. Now, let's start off with the game today against the Cardinals. We're in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, and the Cardinals will be sending a lineup of second baseman Colton Wong, first baseman Paul Goldschmidt, shortstop Paul DeJong, left fielder Tyler O'Neill, right fielder Dexter Fowler, center fielder Harrison Bader, third baseman Toddy Edman, and the starting pitcher for the Cardinals today will be Adam Wainwright, batting eighth, and Matt Whiters, the catcher, will bat ninth. Wainwright is making his third start of the season. He is 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA. For the Cubs, right fielder Jason Hayward will continue leading off, as he has done for the majority of this season. Second baseman David Fletcher will bat second. First baseman Anthony Rizzo, followed by shortstop Javier Baez, left fielder Kyle Schwarber, third baseman Chris Bryant, center fielder Albert Almora, catcher Josh Fegley is spelling Wilson Contreras behind the plate today, and left-hander John Lester will make his third start of the season. He is looking for his first win. Currently, he stands at 0-2 with a relatively high 6.97 ERA. Let's play some ball. It is a pleasant 50 degrees today in Chicago with a clear sky, and the wind is blowing in from right at a pretty good clip, 14 mph. Lester on the mound, facing the Cardinals' leadoff hitter, Colton Wong. 1-1 pitch to Wong. Lester looks in, gets the sign, shakes off that sign, looking for another one, and Lester taking his time, but here's the pitch. That'll be a base hit into left field for Wong. He just slapped that one the opposite way. Bryant was not able to react quick enough, and it got out into left field. Schwarber throws it back in. Wong stands on first with a single. Paul Goldschmidt now will bat for the Cardinals. 1-0 count. Goldschmidt hits it on the ground to Baez, over to Fletcher, turns the corner to Rizzo, and that is a twin killing for the Cubs. 6-4-3. And just like that, the Cardinals have two outs and nobody on base. And the shortstop DeJong is now the batter. 1-1 count. Lester with the pitch. That'll be a base hit up the middle. Almora plays it on a bounce, gets it back into the second baseman Fletcher. And DeJong will stop on first with a single. Tyler O'Neill now will bat for the Cardinals with two outs and a runner on first. 1-2 count. And he tried to check his swing, but the umpire rings him up. That is strike three. Lester gets his first strike out of the game, and the Cardinals are retired with no runs scored going into the bottom of the first. 1-0 count now to Hayward, the Cubs' leadoff hitter. Here's the pitch. Hayward hits it hard on the ground, but directly at the second baseman, and he is in easy out at first. 4-3 on that put out, and the second baseman Fletcher will now bat for the Cubs. First pitch to Fletcher with 1 out, and he hits a ground ball to third. Third baseman fires across the diamond, Goldschmidt with the catch to put him away, and Rizzo now will come up with 2 outs and nobody on. 0-2 count to Rizzo. Rizzo strikes out swinging, and the Cubs are retired in order in the bottom of the first. We go now to the top of the second in a 0-0 game. 0-1 count to Dexter Fowler. That is going to drop in for a base hit in front of Schwarber in left field. Dexter Fowler stops at first with a big turn, but he retreats. And now Harrison Bader will come up with nobody out and Fowler on first. 1-0 count. Bader loops it into right field. It looks like short right. Fletcher is there to put it away. And that is the first out of the inning. Edman will now bat. Fowler still on first base. 2-0 count to Edman. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Baez to Fletcher to Rizzo. And they've got that pretty well down pat. The Cubs get another double play. That's 2 in 2 innings. And the Cardinals are retired with no runs scored in the top of the second. Baez now will stand in against the Cardinal pitcher Wainwright, starting his second inning of work. 1-0 count. Baez hits it well up the middle, right at the center fielder, adjusted by just a couple of steps to make that play. And Bader makes the catch. Schwarber now will bat against Wainwright with a 2-2 count and 1 out. Schwarber tries to check his swing, but the umpire rings him up anyway. Schwarber is the second strikeout victim of the day for Wainwright. And that will bring up Bryant with 2 outs, nobody on. Bryant hits it on the ground to short. Routine play. Short to first, and Bryant is retired for the 3rd out. Cubs go down in order in the bottom of the second. We go now to the top of the 3rd. Lester is now facing the number 8 hitter, which is the Cardinals pitcher, Wainwright. Ground ball to short. Baez fields cleanly, throws to Rizzo. 1 down in the top of the 3rd. Matt Whiters will bat now. Full count, 1 out. And he loses him. That's the first walk issued today by Lester, as Whiters walks down to first. Wong will now pitch with 1 out and a runner on first. 2-2 count. Strike 3. Excellent pitch there by Lester to get the swing and the miss. And now Goldschmidt will bat with 2 outs and the runner on first. 1-0 count to Goldschmidt. Ground ball up the middle. Baez over to second. That'll be scored a fielder's choice, and it will end the inning. The Cardinals get 1 walk. They strand the base runner. We go now to the bottom of the 3rd, and the Cubs and Cardinals are locked in a 0-0 tie. Almora, Cubs number 7 hitter, will lead off bottom of the 3rd. 1-2 count to Almora. He hits it on the ground too short. The infielders are getting a real workout today, and Almora grounds out for the first out of the 3rd inning. Fegley will bat now with a 2-1 count. He hits it in the air, gets it out to right field. The wind is going to knock that down, and the right fielder Fowler will make the catch on the warning track. Fegley got a pretty good hit there, but ultimately it was a fly out, and now there are 2 down with Lester the batter. First pitch to Lester. He hits it out to left field. That is going to drop for the first base hit of the game for the Cubs. If I were Wainwright, I would not be very pleased with myself. Lester just broke up that no-hitter with a single to left. Hayward now will bat. Lester standing on first. 2 outs. Full count to Hayward. And he hits it into the gap in left center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Lester is rounding third. He is coming home. Hayward slides safely into second with an RBI double. And the Cubs now lead the game 1-0. Excellent piece of hitting by Jason Hayward. Knocked a double off the wall in left center field to give the Cubs the lead. David Fletcher will now bat, with 2 outs and a runner on first. 2-2 count. Fletcher hits it to right field, but that's going to be caught for the 3rd out. Looked good coming off the bat, but ultimately the right fielder Fowler tracked it down. Cubs do score a run. They break the tie, break up the no-hitter, and now we go to the top of the 4th with a 1-0 Cub lead. Lester will be the pitcher against the Cardinals 3-4-5 hitters in the top of the 4th. 2-2 count. Lester comes to the plate. And that is well hit to left center field. That is going to carry all the way to the seats. Lester has given up a solo home run to lead off the top of the 4th inning, and just like that, the Cardinals have tied it back up 1-1. O'Neill will now be the batter in this recently tied game. First pitch to O'Neill. He hits it on the ground. Fletcher adjusts over toward his left to make the play. Throws out O'Neill at first for the 1st out. Fowler now will bat against Lester with 1 out in the top of the 4th. 1-2 count. Lester comes to the plate. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was down and in. He got Fowler crossed up on that one to record his 3rd strikeout of the game. Lester will now pitch to Bader with nobody on base and 2 outs. 1-2 count. 2-1 count, excuse me. That'll be a base hit into right field just beyond the reach of a diving Rizzo. Bader stops at first as Hayward gets it back in quickly, and Edman will now bat with 2 outs and base runner on first. 1-1 count. Edman hits it into the gap in right center field. That is going to be extra bases as well. Is the runner third going to try for home? He is. It looks like the throw is going to third, but Edman is safe at third base. He has a triple. Bader scores all the way from first, and the Cardinals are now owners of a 2-1 lead. The pitcher Wainwright will now bat with 2 outs and 1 man on. Lester with the pitch. And Wainwright gets some revenge. He knocks that one into the gap in left center field. He's going for second. He's going to slide into second with a double. Drives in another run for the Cardinals. It is now 3-1 St. Louis leading. You know, I don't think Wainwright was very happy with Lester for getting a base hit in the previous inning. But Wainwright just got him back. And that'll bring up Whiters with runner on second and still 2 out. That's popped up to left field. Baez goes out and he makes the catch in short left field to end the inning, but not before the Cardinals come roaring back with 3 runs. They take a 3-1 lead now into the bottom of the 4th inning. Rizzo will be the leadoff hitter against Wainwright. Full count to Rizzo. Well hit up the middle, past the diving shortstop, who was actually shifted considerably toward the second base bag. He was playing almost on the first base side of the second base bag, and Wainwright made a good pitch, but Rizzo just hit it hard right up the middle. There was really not much chance to react to it. Rizzo now is standing on first with a single, leading off for the Cubs, and Baez is the batter with nobody out and 1 man on first. Baez hits it hard on the ground, but that is a tailor-made double play. Rizzo, however, appears to break up the double play at second base, and the Cubs get a fielder's choice out of it. Baez is standing on first now. Rizzo is retired on the force at second. Schwarber will now bat with 1 man on and 1 man out. Full count to Schwarber. Schwarber hits it on the ground to first. Goldschmidt goes to tag first, which removes the force at second. He then throws to second, but Baez slides in under the tag. and he is safe at second. So now Bryant is the batter. Cubs have 2 out, runner in scoring position, and still a chance to cut into this lead. 0-2 count to Bryant. He pops it up to third in foul territory, and the third baseman Edman puts it away. Cubs strand a runner on second, and we go now to the top of the 5th inning with a 3-1 Cardinal lead. Lester coming out for his 5th inning of work. He will face the Cardinal leadoff hitter Wong to begin the top of the 5th. 2-0 count. Lester comes to the plate. Hard hit to right field. Hayward is chasing. The wind might knock that down, and it does. Hayward catches it out in the well in right field. And the wind definitely benefited the Cubs on that fly ball. It kept a home run in the park. And Wong is retired for the first out of the top of the 5th inning. Goldschmidt will now bat with a 1-0 count. Goldschmidt flies it out to right. This is considerably shorter. Hayward runs in, and he puts it away for the second out. DeYoung will now bat against Lester with 2 outs and nobody on. The first pitch, right up the middle, single to center field. DeYoung hits it, and he is digging for second. Almora throws in, but it looks like he is going to be safe at second base. Almora, I don't think, was expecting him to go for 2. A little slow getting it back into the infield. And the pinch runner now is Nagowski. So what exactly happened? Why do we have a pinch runner? Let's take a look at the box score and see. Okay, shortstop Paul DeYoung was injured while running the bases. So he hit the double, and apparently he pulled up lame coming into second base. The Cardinals have sent out a pinch runner to replace him. O'Neill will now bat with the pinch runner Nagowski standing on second and 2 out. First pitch to O'Neill. And they intentionally walk him, setting up the force. And Dexter Fowler now, owner of the 143 batting average, will stand in against Lester here in the top of the 5th inning. And he hits it to center field. Almora is chasing and makes a diving catch. Just a wonderful effort by Almora to get to that ball and put it away and end the Cardinals inning. If that had dropped, that would have driven in 2 more runs. Cubs go now to the bottom of the 5th inning, still trailing 3-1. And Almora, who literally just ended the top of the 5th with a beautiful defensive play, now gets to lead off the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Almora, Wainwright to the plate. That'll be a single up the middle for Almora. He makes a big turn at first base, but ultimately retreats back to the bag. And Fegley now will bat with Almora on first, and Fegley representing the tying run. 1-2 count. Wainwright, the pitch. Check swing strikeout. We've seen that several times for the Cubs today. Wainwright has really got these guys guessing. He has recorded 3 strikeouts today in 4 1/3 innings of work. Lester now the batter. He got a base hit his last time up. I would predict here that we're going to see a sacrifice. And we do. The ball is bunted to third. The throw goes to first. Lester is retired, and Almora advances to second. Hayward now the batter, with Almora standing on second and 2 out. 1-1 count to Hayward. And he hits it well to right field, but that is going to be brought in for the 3rd out. Hit it right on the button, but also right at the right fielder. Fowler retreated about 4 steps and made that catch. Lester now will come out for his 6th inning of work. He's actually only thrown 63 pitches. And he is going to face Harrison Bader who's already 1 for 2 today, to lead off the top of the 6th inning. 1-2 count to Bader. Ground ball over to Fletcher at second, fires to first to Rizzo, and the runner is retired. Edmund now will bat with 1 out and nobody on. 0-1 count. Lester gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And that goes up the middle and under the glove of a diving Baez. That'll be a single for Tommy Edman out into center field. Wainwright now will bat with 1 out and 1 on, and likely looking for a sacrifice in this situation as well. First pitch to Wainwright. Nope, he is swinging away. He is proving that he knows how to handle the bat today. Single to center field for Wainwright. I believe he is now 2 for 3 on the game. Wainwright is standing on first. Edmund at second. The catcher batting with 1 out. 2-1 count. Popped up on the infield. Rizzo chasing. Fletcher calls him off. Infield fly is called and the runner is out. 2 down now. Runners on first and second, and Colton Wong is the batter. 1-2 count. That's a weak grounder up the middle. And the pitcher Lester fields, and it's always a circus when he throws over to first, but this time the runner is retired. We go now to the bottom of the 6th inning with a 3-1 Cardinal lead. Wainwright will begin his 6th inning of work. He is sitting at 62 pitches against the Cubs second baseman, David Fletcher. 0-1 count to Fletcher. That's going to be a base hit to right field. Dexter Fowler plays it on 1 hop, and Fletcher is standing on first. Rizzo now will bat. The lefty Rizzo against the righty Wainwright. Rizzo is already 1 for 2 on the day. And a 2-2 pitch to Rizzo. Well hit to straightaway center field. That is going to be high off the wall in center field. Rizzo coming into second. The runner stops at third. Fletcher gets the stop sign from the third base coach, and he pulls up. Baez now will bat, and the Cubs have something cooking here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runners are on second and third with nobody out. Baez the batter, and the Cubs trying to cut into this 3-1 lead. And it looks like they may intentionally... Nope, they're going to pitch to Baez. That ball is going to be caught in right field. A diving catch by Dexter Fowler. I thought for a moment they were going to intentionally walk Baez, but they did not. He flies out to right field on an excellent defensive effort by Dexter Fowler. Kyle Schwarber will now bat. The fly ball to right was too shallow for the runner Fletcher to tag up and score. We have 1 out now, runners on second and third. And Schwarber hits it on the ground to first. Goldschmidt fields, throws to Wainwright to retire Schwarber. The runner from third, Fletcher, is able to score on a heads-up running play, and Rizzo advances to third. They didn't really have much of a chance. Fletcher got an excellent jump on that ground ball. And the Cardinal lead is now cut to 3-2. Bryant now will bat with the tying run standing 90 feet away with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. 0-1 count to Bryant. He hits it in the air to left field. It looks like that'll be playable. It hung in the air for a very long time. And Bryant is retired for the 3rd out. The Cubs do get 1 run and now trail the Cardinals 3-2. Lester now coming out for his 7th inning of work. He is sitting at 80 pitches. He will face Cardinal first baseman Goldschmidt to lead off the top of the 7th inning. First pitch to Goldschmidt. That'll be a ground ball to third, which Bryant will kick and be charged with an error. There is no chance to get Goldschmidt after the Bryant error. He was not able to recover. And now Nagowski will bat. He came in due to DeJong getting injured on a base running play earlier in the game. Nagowski will now bat with nobody out and Goldschmidt standing on first. 2-2 count. And that is well hit to the gap in right center field. Goldschmidt is rounding second, heading for third. The third base coach gives Goldschmidt the stop sign as Almora gets the ball back into the infield quickly. Nagowski gets to second with a stand-up double. And now the Cardinals have second and third and nobody out. And Tyler O'Neill is now the batter. Lester at 86 pitches. I have to imagine somebody's warming up in the bullpen by now. Here's the pitch. And they intentionally walk O'Neill, putting him on first and loading the bases, setting up the force at any base. Dexter Fowler will now bat. Lester is going to face Fowler, the switch hitter. And the Cardinals still have nobody out and the bases loaded. The Cubs bring the infield in to try to cut off the run. 0-2 count to Dexter Fowler, and he hits it plenty deep into left center field. Almora is tracking. He makes the catch for the first out, but Goldschmidt tags up and heads home to score easily. That ball was on the warning track out in left center field. Cardinals now have one out and runners on first and second, and Lester will continue to pitch to the center fielder, Harrison Bader. 1-2 count to Bader. And he strikes out swinging. Lester with an excellent changeup to retire Bader. And that will be the final batter that Lester faces as the lefty, Brad Wyke, is brought in to face the switch hitter, Edman. Lester's line score for the game, 6 2/3, 11 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 1 intentional, and 4 strikeouts, and 1 home run allowed. And Lester, with that performance, somehow managed to lower his ERA for the season by a full run. Now, Brad Wyke will pitch to the batter, Tommy Edman, with 2 outs and 2 men on. 1-0 count. Wyke looks for the sign, comes to the plate. That's a well-hit base hit into the right field. It gets past Hayward all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. The next runner circles third, and he heads home. He's going to slide in safely. Nagowski scores. And Fowler scores. And Edman has an RBI double. The Cardinals now lead 6-2. I believe those runs are still charged to John Lester. No, they are considered unearned runs. Lester's ERA improvement remains intact. The Cardinal pitcher Wainwright will now bat against the lefty Brad Wyke. 1-1 count. And he hits it well to left center field. Almora goes back. He is not able to make the play. He disappears into the ivy in center field. And it looks like that is in fact a basket shot home run. Adam Wainwright is just killing the Cubs today. That was a 410-foot home run. And the Cardinals have now scored 5 runs in the top of the 7th and lead the game 8-2. Wyke will now pitch to the Cardinal catcher with an 0-1 count. And there's a ground ball to Baez. This may end the inning. He fires across the diamond to Rizzo, and that will be the 3rd out. Cubs allow 5 runs to score, and the Cardinals are now owners of an 8-2 lead. Adam Wainwright with 73 pitches to his name, will come out to work the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0 count. Almora, the leadoff hitter, hits it on the ground to third, and a low throw to first, but Goldschmidt digs it out for the first out of the 7th inning. I almost forgot to mention, we had our guest conductor in the 7th inning stretch today, former President Bill Clinton. Josh Fegley, now the batter for the Cubs, with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Fegley gets a base hit, little poke into center field. Perfectly placed, honestly. It was over the second baseman's head and way too short for the center fielder to get to. And now Jason Kipnis, the lefty, will pinch hit for the pitcher White against the righty Wainwright. 1-1 count to Kipnis. Here's the pitch. Kipnis hits a base hit right up the middle, over the head of an outreached glove, and on a heads-up running play, Josh Fegley, not known for his speed, gets all the way over to third base. So Kipnis, with the single, advances the runner to third. Hayward now will bat with runners on the corners and 1 out. 1-2 count. Hayward has a base hit into right field. That drops in. The runners pause briefly thinking it's going to be caught, but it is not. The throw goes to third. Kipnis advances to second, and the runner Fegley scores, and the Cubs have now made this an 8-3 game. David Fletcher will bat with runners on first and second and 1 out. 0-2 count to Fletcher. And he skies it high into center field. The center fielder is adjusting for the wind, but he makes the catch in front of the ivy in left center field. 2 down now for the Cubs. Rizzo the batter. Runners still on first and second. And an 0-2 count to Rizzo. Rizzo hits it up the middle. That'll drop. Oh, that's not going to drop in for a base hit. That looked good, but a diving play in center field. And Harrison Bader steals an extra base hit from Rizzo. Sadler now, the recently called up Cub, is going to get some work in the top of the 8th inning, trying to hold the Cardinals at a 5-run lead. Sadler will have a full count to pitch to Wong. And he induces a weakly hit ground ball to second base. Fletcher fields but does not have a play at first. And Wong is standing on first with an infield single. Goldschmidt now the batter against the righty Sadler with nobody out and a runner on first. 1-2 count. Sadler looks in, and he throws a changeup. The change of speed fools Goldschmidt, and Sadler records his first strikeout. Wong still standing on first with a 1-0 count and 1 on. And Sadler gets a fly ball to center field. Almora plays it perfectly and puts him away for the second out. O'Neill now will bat, with the runner Wong still standing on first and 2 out. 2-1 count. Another fly ball to center field. Almora adjusts, makes the catch, and that'll be 3 down. The Cardinals do not score in the top of the 8th. We go now to the bottom of the 8th, and the Cubs are trailing 8-3. The Cubs' Javier Baez will lead off the bottom of the 8th. He is going to precede Schwarber and Bryant in this inning. Here's the pitch. And he hits it hard to left field. Baez got all of that one. That is out on the street behind the left field stands. Javier Baez, 414 feet. He has his 4th home run of the season. And the Cubs continue to chip away at this Cardinal lead. It is now 8-4. Too bad he couldn't have done that with a couple runners on base, but take what you can get sometimes. The Cardinals are now bringing in left-hander Andrew Miller. Let's see, the line for Wainwright today: 7 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 strikeouts, and the home run, to Baez, was his last batter that he faced. Andrew Miller will now pitch for the Cardinals. He has worked an inning and 2/3 and not allowed an earned run this season. The lefty Miller will face the lefty Schwarber to start out the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-2 count to Schwarber. Here's the pitch. Schwarber swings and misses at a fastball that was down. Bryant now will bat with 1 out and nobody on. 2-1 count to Bryant. Andrew Miller with the pitch. That's a ground ball over to first. Goldschmidt, the only defender on that side of the field, scoops it up and runs to first to retire Bryant. Almora now will bat with 2 down and nobody on. 1-0 count to Almora. He hits it on the ground. The shortstop fields, but he kicks the ball. He muffed it when he tried to field the ball, and Almora is safe on the error at first. That's recorded as an E6, a fielding error for Nagowski. Fegley now will bat with the runner on first and 2 down. 2-2 count to Fegley. And he hits a little looper over to first, and Goldschmidt must have had a little difficulty fielding that, and then the pitcher Miller was slow to cover first, and he loses the foot race with Josh Fegley. I feel like that's the equivalent of losing a foot race to Captain Hook with 1 peg leg. But now, the Cubs are going to send up the pinch hitter Steven Souza with 2 runners on and 2 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. 0-2 count to Souza. And he hits it up the middle. The shortstop throws to second for the fielder's choice and retires the side. Cubs got 2 base runners, but they strand them both. They do score a run on the Baez home run. And now we go to the top of the 9th inning with an 8-4 Cardinal lead. Cam Bedrosian will now pitch for the Cubs. He has thrown 5 1/3 and has an ERA of 8.44 so far this season. Bedrosian will face Dexter Fowler to lead off the top of the 9th inning. 3-1 count to Fowler. He looks in with the pitch. That's going to be a single into right field. Splits the gap between Fletcher and Rizzo on the right side of the infield. And Fowler is now standing on first. Bader is the next batter. Made a fine defensive play to save some runs a couple innings ago. Now batting against the righty Bedrosian. 2-2 count with the pitch. He hits it on the ground. Rizzo to Baez, but no relay back to first. The Cubs do get an out, but Bader is safe at first on the fielder's choice. Edman now will bat. Switch hitting Edman will bat from the left side this time, with the runner Bader on first. First pitch. And he pops it up to left field. Short left field, Baez is going to make the play for the second out. And now we have Molina. The Cardinal catcher, Yadier Molina, is going to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot with runner on first and 2 down, top of the 9th inning. 3-1 count. He hits it up the middle. Fletcher is there, flips to second to retire the side. Cardinals do not score in the top of the 9th. We go now to the bottom of the 9th with an 8-4 Cardinal lead. The Cardinals will send out right-handed pitcher John Brebbia. Brebbia has not exactly been effective this year. In 4 2/3, he has allowed 6 earned runs, walked 4, struck out 6, and that calculates out to an ERA of 11.57. Let's see if the Cubs can capitalize on his ineffectiveness and come back in this game. Jason Hayward will be the first batter for the Cubs in the bottom of the ninth. 1-2 count to Hayward. Brebbia looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And Hayward watches strike 3 float by. Hayward was looking for something other than the fastball in that situation, and he strikes out looking for the first out in the bottom of the ninth. David Fletcher will now bat with 1 out and nobody on. Brebbia looks in. Here's the pitch. Fletcher hits it hard to left field. The left fielder goes back and he makes the catch on the warning track. Fletcher gave it a ride, but ultimately it was a little bit short out in the well in left field. And that'll bring up Rizzo. 2 outs. Nobody on. Cubs down to their final out in the bottom of the ninth inning. 1-1 count to Rizzo. Here's the pitch. And he hits it hard to center field. The center fielder, Bader, is going to take a couple steps back and make that catch to end the game. The Cardinals score 8 runs on 15 hits and commit 1 error in the victory. That is to the Cubs' 4 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. The Cardinals go to 8-7 and the Cubs drop to 6-9. Adam Wainwright earns his 2nd win of the season. He is the Cardinals pitcher of record with 7 innings worked, 10 hits, 4 runs all earned, 3 strikeouts and 1 home run. John Lester earns his 3rd loss of the season, going 6 2/3 with 11 hits, 6 runs, only 3 earned, and 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. The player of the game for the Cardinals is Tommy Edman. And Edman went 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. And Paul DeJong, we'll see if there's an update on his status. Nope, it says diagnosis pending. So we're not quite sure the extent of his injuries. But that is the end of our ball game, folks. Thanks for listening.